Hey guys, Steve here. Today we're going to talk about focus. Alright? Sugar Ray Leonard type focus. I mean, intense, absolute, aggressive, amazing focus. Alright, let's go to the basics. Starting with the basics. Defensively, we don't want to have any peekaboo defense. Okay? Focus is all about our opponent. We want to see what's going on. We want to know what's happening. Not seeing what's happening, literally blocking ourselves from view of our opponent is the opposite of that, okay? So our defense, we'll go into defense in another video and talk about some of the dynamic movement that we can have, which helps maintain that vision, but we want to have an absolute potential for vision and not be blocking ourselves defensively, all right? Offensively, common mistake, and maybe a huge mistake. It's something that we all need to catch ourselves on and be each other's brother or sister and not allow ourselves to continue such habits, is closing our eyes when we throw a punch, or closing our eyes unnecessarily. But offensively, even to the extent some people, when shadow boxing, will close their eyes. So we're intense and focused on our opponent, but on the inside, in shadow boxing, we're realizing on the inside what we're doing and imagining our opponent in front of us, even while we're shadow boxing. But if we're doing that and closing our eyes while we throw punches during shadow boxing, I don't know if you've seen such a thing, but many people will actually have the habit of blinking with every punch. And it's a horrible habit. We can't allow ourselves to have that. If we do that in practice on shadow boxing, then it's more likely that quite likely we'll be doing that on the bag as well, and closing our eyes when we throw a punch. If we do that in the bag, we're probably going to do it in sparring, and if we do it in sparring, we're going to do it in the fight. So let's, like I said, be each other's brother and not allow ourselves to do this. Let's videotape ourselves hitting the bag, and make sure that we're not doing this. Let's watch video of ourselves sparring. Make sure that we're not closing our eyes needlessly when throwing punches. An example, back to Ray Leonard, an icon in focus. Well, let's go back to one thing too. Focus on the opponent, right? As far as some of the basics go, we want to not only focus on the eyes of the opponent, or we generally want to look at more close to the center of the chest, the center of mass of our opponent as we're fighting, as we're squared up. But we don't want to telegraph anything with our eyes. Okay? We don't want to be looking at where we're going to throw a punch next. We don't want to only look into their eyes and give away what we're going to be doing, or take away the potential for having a more broad focus. We want to have that broad focus. Okay? And so, Sugar Ray Leonard, when he was up against it with Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, Roberto Duran, when Sugar Ray Leonard was up against it and in the heat of things, punches, flurries coming from these amazing world champions, and he's blocking and taking these punches. If you look at his eyes, they're just amazing focus. Defensively, he's able to take this and work through it and be constantly completely aware and have great eye contact and focus at all times. It's amazing, amazing level of focus to me. And so that's something that we should be doing on the bag in training at all times, catching ourselves when we do such things, and training on the bag, even having contact with our faces, and being used to and accustomed to contact around our eyes, even throwing punches right next to our face and right next to our eyes without losing that focus and that intensity. Okay? I was living in St. Thomas in 2003 in the Virgin Islands, and Sugar Ray Leonard's productions or promotions had a fight, and they had a teleconference, not a teleconference, it was a press conference. And it's such a small island, there's only a handful of people that showed up, and so I got to talking to him. The subject of focus, just like this, came up, and I told him how I had started out only looking for a boxing gym, but I only was able to find a kickboxing gym. And so I started out with no desire to throw feet, purely throwing hands, sparring with people that were throwing hands and feet. And I told him how I thought that it made me a better boxer, going into amateur boxing afterwards. And I thought that gave me a broader focus, a a better ability to focus on the entire point and his movements, his balance, everything else. And so in talking to him at the press conference, he basically said the same thing. He said he had sparred with people kickboxing, and that it was a great tool, a great technique to help open up that focus. And so he stood me up in this press conference and squared me off to him. He and I were throwing a couple, and he was talking to me about that focus and maintaining and being aware of the potential for feet and anything that might come. And like I said, that's where I started, and that's how I feel about it. And mad respect for Sugar Ray Leonard. But that intense focus is something that we need to bring to not only our fights, but our training. Okay? Maintain that focus at all times and be very much aware of all our surroundings and our entire opponent. Another prop for Sugar Ray Leonard, the Daniel Lalonde fight, and another concept about eye focus and contact, eye contact and focus, is that we can use that to our benefit as well. When Ray Leonard was fighting Daniel Lalonde, he had already lit him up so many times with a left hook to the body. The Lalonde was cautious, keeping an eye out for it, and so Sugar Ray Leonard would start to give eye contact, false eye contact, intentionally misdirecting down to the body of Daniel Lalonde, and in doing so he would dip the shoulder down as well. And so he's giving this false, he's playing chess, he's not playing checkers. This is what we need to do is be slightly better than yesterday on every level, on any level that we can improve ourselves as fighters. But he false indicates a left hook, and he dips his shoulder in doing so as if he's going to drop that left hook like he did so many times. But in doing so, he knew that Lalonde was going to be preparing for it, and so he already had his shoulders in this position and was moving forward, and so he just rolled his shoulders all through there and threw that big right hand. But complete and absolute focus at all times, all he did it too. So, small picture and big picture, defensively and offensively, focus, intensity of focus, eye contact, it's overall focus. Okay? Mad props to Sugar Ray Leonard, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you benefit from it. All right? Peace.